This neighborhood of Paris has always been a source of pleasure and fascination to me. Strolling on the riverbanks of the Seine, with its famous bouquinist, the great art dealers, and the antiquarian is always a marvelous journey. The objects that interested me the most are those reflecting the relation between an artist and applied arts, between the creator and the craftsmen who manufacture them, like, for example, Picasso's pottery or Diego Giacometti's furniture. These objects, which are mostly useful items, prove the existence of a strong link between art and handicraft. Diurne, the company that I founded with my wife in 1982, in order to produce and to distribute the rugs that I want to design, emerged from my dreams. The starting point was the acquisition of the boutique 45 Rue Jacob in the heart of the Latin Quarter on Paris' left bank. My first trips to Nepal, about 30 years ago, were quite disappointing. In Kathmandu, on those days, there weren't any small workshops that produced custom-made or small series of rugs. Back then, this true craftsmanship appeared as a sign of poverty and backwardness, not as a possibility to create something rare and original. It was only after I met Regina Karki that I was able to produce my first collection, the parrots. For the first collection, I created carpet in which the raw material, thick hand-spun and hand-knotted wool, is reminiscent of the feathering and the movement of these birds. My collections are inspired and motivated by the beauty of an animal, an object, or an art style. I also enjoy using different techniques in the realizations of my projects. The parrots were painted using gouache, others were drawn with a pencil, and some were created directly on the computer. I designed more than 10 collections. The design is just one important part, but even more essential is the effect of the materials. A new collection often also means the introduction of a new type of weaving, or wool, or of silk. I recently created 3 collections. The kimono designs are inspired by the nabis, French painters of the end of the 19th century who turned towards Japan to find their inspiration. The introduction of very fine textures and the blending of delicate wool and silk remind the precious fabrics of kimonos. For this collection, I worked directly on the computer by draping lines and colored surfaces on the screen like a painter does on a canvas. After quickly creating these designs, each of them was deeply thought over, considering different materials and weaving. With this collection, I used mohair and silk and also introduced carved in reliefs. This work was somehow exciting. During several months, I multiplied images and arranged them to create 9 series of 9 images each. These images will be a source for the creation of rugs and Aubusson-style tapestry. In luxury craftsmanship, it seems logical to produce custom-made design objects, and I am very glad to adapt my designs to an interior designer's project. We dispose of a graphic design department that allows us to propose different versions of the most successful models. We had the occasion to take part in numerous projects with the world's most famous interior designers, and our carpets are present in various prestigious places. In the beginning of the 90s, we opened a gallery named Entrée Libre in Soho with Paula Lajoni and Richard Widmeyer Picasso, the painter's grandson. Our approach of the handmade Tibetan carpet was still unknown, but met immediately with great success. So far, these carpets were considered as Oriental. We were the first to associate this production with contemporary design. Those were great years for me, and I always appreciate to work with American professionals. I contact David Sutherland beginning of 2008. We have already worked together before, and thus I knew how much he always cared about creativity in our industry. In French, diurne is the adjective that qualifies the daytime. In my life, the creation of the company was like a new dawn, and modestly, I think that we brought something new to the Nepalese carpet production. Our company is represented worldwide, and we are participating on projects in various countries. We also have our place now in the David Sutherland showrooms, and this new step really fills us with confidence and enthusiasm.